Hey everyone, Peter here at Dunes Golf Centre in Fraserburgh. Just thought I'd take you through a few of my thoughts and processes in creating what I think is the perfect junior golf session. Just to give it a bit of context before I take you out on the range, the kids' lessons today are in two groups, from 4 to 7-year-olds in my younger class and then 8 to 12 in the older ones. And clearly it goes without saying the setup, the content is slightly different for those two age groups, but primarily the belief system I hold very firmly true is that we've got to make it safe. First of all, it's got to be fun, and of course it's going to be educational. But the education part of it is where I think sometimes adults look at it a little differently to what I do, or should I say parents, grandparents, etc. That I don't believe a great golf lesson is me as a coach stood in front of the kids insisting that they hold the club in a certain way or they stand with a certain alignment or posture. Yes, I think we could look at tour players and say there are some fundamentals there, but do they need teaching at an early age? And I strongly don't think they need to be actually taught where the kid is told they're either doing it right or wrong. Instead, I think it should be through experimental play, experimenting even with things that an onlooker might say, well, that's clearly wrong. You may have seen some of the videos up out there, certainly on TikTok, with young Grayson, who's holding the club like this. When should I get him to change his hold? Well, my own belief is I'm not going to tell him when. He's going to change it when he feels he needs to in order to complete the task that is in front of him. And that's really where I believe the skill of a good coach, a teacher, comes in, is creating the environment, an environment that is free from negative judgment, an environment that encourages experimental play, where the kids are free and confident that they're not going to be scolded if they try and do a big swing. They're not going to be in trouble and told off if they're trying to swing the club really fast, super fast, because how do we know if we can hit it further with a fast swing or a slow swing or a medium swing without trying? So I very much try and set all the sessions up where the kids know very early on. The only rule I have, and it goes without saying, is of safety. We don't want any of the kids hurting themselves or each other. So if there's one thing in the lessons that I am very mindful of, is laying down the law early on about how we behave so that everybody stays safe. But when it comes to actually playing the game, the less rules, the better. Now, let me take you outside onto the range and show you what we've got set up for them in today's session. Now, every game that I set up has at its core a skill that I'd like the kids to try and acquire. Now, that skill could be anything in golf, from good aim, it could be good distance judgment, it could be a combination of both, it could just be striking the ball out of the good part of the club. But, you know, who says striking out the middle is always best? Because if you get to any decent level of golf, you'll know that certainly for a driver, for a long time with my Ping G, I hit the best shots when I hit it out the slight high toe. So it just shows you it's not always about trying to find one solution. I think I saw a post off a good friend of mine and a guy I admire a lot, Neil Plimmer, who's a PGA Pro, probably the leading authority on junior golf coaching. He's based down in Brighton, and he put something out about creativity being stifled as adults. And it was about being an artist and how all children are born artists, but as we get older, that creativity is kind of taught out of us. We're bound by rules and regulations, and we're here to try and stop that. And there's a quote here that I put on the bottom of the range, and I think it's really important for all golfers, but not golfers. It's for pretty much everything. It says, when we give ourselves permission to fail, we at the same time give ourselves permission to excel. And that is the environment. Failure. Sorry, I think I just lost you there. It went black the screen, but we're back. But yeah, so let's take a look at the game. So we're going to start off in Bay 10. And we've got some boxes, we've got a hoop, we've got some balls, and we've got some yellow cones. Now, I'm going to let the kids decide what the game is here, but what am I looking for? Well, clearly the hoop looks very appealing to try and hit the ball through. I would imagine most of the kids are going to try and do that or hit it over the boxes. But if they want to hit it into the boxes, that's absolutely fine. They're looking to control the trajectory and flight of their shots with this game. And of course, they're going to have to get it out of the lofted part of the club if they want to get the ball through the hoop. again, learning through play, and we might have a discussion about what happens when we hit the ball with the ball. I've set this up. This is a new one for us today. I just invented this. You might not be able to see if I'm moving a little closer. Each of these old mayonnaise tubs have a different colour written on them. So we've got red, yellow, blue, green, and orange. And then we have the corresponding cones sat on the floor. Again, what's the challenge there? I'm looking for a bit of face aim control, a bit of possibly directional control, but also I want the kids to be in charge of how hard they want the game to be. Now, some of these have been set up in response to how I learn each week as a coach. Last week, in my younger group class, there was we were looking at trying to see how far we could hit it with a driver. And one of the kids in particular was a bit upset that he couldn't get a ball to trace on the top tracer. So he wasn't hitting it high enough or far enough. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. It's a bit aspirational. It's something he should be looking to try and achieve. But I thought, I want to create some games that no matter how young they are or how early they are in their development, that they can get some success at as well. Because I've noticed on these apps, on iPads and things like that, that there is very early success. That seems to be the thing that makes them, I don't want to use the word addictive, but I can't think of a better phrase right now. It makes them a little bit more addictive. It makes them want to keep playing as they level up. And I think as a golf coach, if I want to inspire kids to fall in love with this game, I want them to enjoy it. And to do that, I think it helps if they can get early success. So you can see here, the red one just over my left shoulder here is only about 5 yards out. I know all the kids can reach that. They could reach all of these boxes. So we're not asking them now to hit the ball at a certain height to get it to trace on the top tracer. They've just got to try and hit one of these mayonnaise tubs. And when they do, I guess they'll pick up the corresponding color cone. So it's going to breed that feeling of a sense of achievement. Once they've progressed from that, then of course they'll want to try and hit it further, but it's in their time, on their terms. But getting a game where they can get early success, I think, is a bit of a winner. And of course, they could level up at that one. So it's maybe not just hitting the mayonnaise tub. And to be honest, it's a level up that I would find difficult, even as a golf pro, is can we actually get it in the tub? In fact, shall I have a go at that now? Let's see what we can do. So if this is the next level up, it would be right. How do I chip it actually in the tub itself? That was nowhere near. Let's have another go at the red one. Oh, that was better. Okay, and then we'll go maybe a bit further out. Let's go out to the blue one. You can see a tough game. So it doesn't matter whether you're a pro or a junior just starting out. There's a challenge there for you. Then in this game here, I've got a cone that's in the distance there. Again, it's in reachable distance of every kid I know I've got on my class. So they can all achieve success. But they're going to have to be pretty good at aiming the club up in order to get it to hit that cone. And again, I've got some cones on the floor there because I found in the kids' lessons, you know, they don't get to keep the cone, but they love collecting something if they achieve it. And I think, again, that comes from the things they're playing on computers, on iPads. When they level up, they win a trophy or they win a badge or something on that game. And there's something about that sense of getting something for their achievement that I'm just tapping into there. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know, but we'll give it a go and see what happens. There'll be no harm done, I'm sure. And then in the other two bays, so bay 6 and 7, in this bay here, we're going to play the ever popular Go Fish. Now, this is something that has been an absolute game changer for us since we put in the top tracer. The kids love this game. If you haven't yet seen it, I'll just get my club. Basically, what they do is they hit the ball out. It's got to go high enough and far enough for it to trace. So it's aspirational again. But the reason I've not played it too much in my groups is because of this here. And I get it. I understand why it's there. It's called the help shot. And you can see I've not hit a shot, but it shows a shot going out there. And the kids love that. I mean, I got a tin can for that. But the problem is they get so used to doing that. And what I noticed was, you know, some of them are not really improving their skills that quickly. And I've got to be careful because it will take time and kids will pick up the game. They will get better at it in their own time. But I noticed while they're just pressing help shot, there's not that same, to me anyway, intrinsic motivation to want to hit it higher and further. So that's why I brought these other games in. But they still do love playing the Go Fish. So I thought, well, I'll still include it in today's session. So I'm going to hit one out there now. So there we go. That goes out there, and you'll see on the screen, off it flies into the ocean. Oh, and that's got a trophy fish, a killer whale. And so there we go. And then in the final bay, I'm going to do long drive. So in here, they're going to head back onto the top tracer again, go into long drive. And you may have seen we've started what's called the 100 Club here at Dunes, where any child that hits it, or anyone at 13 years and under hits it over 100 yards, they've just got to capture it on the long drive game mode. And then they go on the Wall of Fame, which I'll take you back in the shop now and show you a little bit more about that. So if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to put them in the comments. We'd love to have a bit of interaction with you all. See what you think. If you've got any thoughts about your kids coming to junior golf here at Dunes, we have got some Easter camps taking place through April, the first week of April, and some full day camps. In fact, they're nearly full now. Let's just go to our Wall of Fame. So here we go. So this is where we have all the kids, not necessarily on coaching. This is anybody who comes to Dunes who's 13 and under gets up on the Wall of Fame if they can hit it 100 yards or more. And we've also got here some golf club designs that we asked them to do in a couple of our lessons, where they've, and this is a classic, this is called the Perfect Aim. What's really cool about this one, this was done by Mia, so it's her name backwards. She's got lip balm in the top of the grip, built-in hand warmers in the grip itself, a snack tub, a built-in selfie camera, and the perfect power button on the back of the club head there. But we've got loads of those dotted about. So yeah, all good fun, all good fun. So there we go, folks. Just thought I'd give you a little insight into what goes into setting up a junior golf lesson and how it isn't just about what happens in the lesson. It's what I do beforehand, with the view that really what I'm trying to have it is that the kids get so immersed and engaged in playing the game that I don't really need to say a lot. And they make up their own kind of rules to the game, where they can make it more difficult. They can make it easier if they feel they need to. And really you get the learning. The learning comes for free. They're not having to think too much about it. They're not having to go home and try and remember what coach says. It's pretty much, I think, how I recall I learned to play the game. Lots of games around the back of the pro shop, or rather the clubhouse at Scarborough Northcliffe. Made up a lot of the games. In fact, a lot of the games that I play now in the junior sessions came from stuff I invented when I was with my mates, practicing as a junior, not to alleviate boredom, but just because we found it so much fun. And when I look back on the things we learned to do and how we learned to control that ball, how we learned to use this tool in different ways, not by having some adult tell us that, oh, no, that's wrong, or do that, or do this, but just through that freedom of expression of trying different things to see what works. Importantly as well, to find out what didn't work, you know, what techniques didn't seem to get the outcomes we wanted, is why I think out of a group of around, I think it was 12 of us, 7 of us turned pro, which is phenomenal, really, when you think about it. With no excessive amount of coaching. The pro we had at the time didn't really do a lot of coaching at all. So it was born out of being competitive with each other, a will intrinsically to want to get better, and to discover all the different ways we could do that. And that's really what I'm trying to promote here at Dunes in our junior session. So there we go, folks. I won't rabble on any longer. It's been nearly 15 minutes as it is. Pleasure to speak to you all. And if you want any more information about any of our coaching or custom fitting or anything here at Dunes Golf Centre, we are striving to provide you, the golfers of North East Scotland, with the very best facility we can. And we feel we're on track with that, but we're always looking to improve. That's it for me, everyone. Bye for now.